Well, unfortunately, everybody, the intro decided to poop out. It did not work. So, we're just going to be coming in raw. That didn't go out the way I thought it would, but we're going to go with it anyway. We're going to, go with it anyway. This is your
We're
boy.
coming in raw.
This is your boy Sleepwalker. And a man who walks through dreams and your dreams as well. I'm here with 2Def Gaming, and right now we are having our 7th podcast, the podcast that no one thought would have it, but it has. Now, your regular co-host, well, actual host, and I guess I'm co-host, or whatever, John, he ain't gonna be here today. He is out with his family, so we have Austin to take his place. So, how you doing? How you doing, Austin?
Man, I'm doing great, Sleep. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. It's a nice Saturday. As nice as can be with all the stuff. But I'm doing good, man. What you been up to?
You already know, just still going through all this Corona stuff, testing out, finding out different games, and just doing what we do best, it's 2Def.
Find any games you like lately?
I'm actually kind of interested in this new little game coming out that seems pretty interesting. And it's on Xbox exclusive. It's called Grounded.
Grounded?
And what it looks like, it's like a simulation survival game, but it's basically that meets Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, snap. That sounds...
Yeah, so you're like a kid in a backyard, and I mean, you can tame and ride ants, like ladybugs, you fight with like matchsticks or, twigs and everything you can find to create, and your object is to try to get back to the house.
Oh, snap. That sounds positively interesting, dude. Like, I love those type of games. Games that kind of go outside the boundaries of the normal game and just try something new. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Have you been digging it?
Well, it don't come out until the 28th. So I mean, once they let you go on and preload it because it is going to be Game Pass. It is on Game Pass already too. So if you want to, you can go on and download that through the Game Pass on Xbox. But no, from seeing what I've seen, I mean, I like the graphics because it's not like, it's got that fun, cartoony, but it's smooth and everything. Yes.
Yeah, very charming. And, I like that.
And colorful, and I like colorful games. But then too, another game I've actually been playing is kind of something. It's challenging, but also relaxing at the same time. It's called The Hunt. Call of the Wild.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's like a hunting kind of simulator thing.
Yeah, it's a hunting simulator.
Yeah. Now, you've been digging it?
Yeah, as I kind of start to get more of the mechanics of it and everything, and I'm able to now start finding and really able, when I like wound animal, being able to track it, because sometimes you got to look at your blood loss, you can see how you hit it, and then you'll know if you're going to be able to track the animal and it's going to die, or you're going to know if the animal's basically going to heal.
Oh, that's pretty dope. Do you hunt in real life? I know John does.
Man, I've been trying to. That's something I want to kind of get into. Again, that's a human nature. What everybody needs to do. Farm to table. You know what I'm saying? Instead of supermarket to table.
Hit that prime side. Go out there and get your meat. Well, and plus, you actually get more meat for a longer amount of time. Just getting one animal for yourself. I mean, what John does, he has deer for days. So,
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm big on that. I want to do it myself with my allergies. I'd be out there sitting waiting for that deer, and the deer just coming out like it's run off. Like,
and that's another thing about the game too. It's like, these damn animals, they can hear you from up to like a mile. So you kind of really gotta like sneak in, and then you gotta watch, your wind direction, because the way the wind's blowing is also going to blow your scent that way.
Oh snap! So they went that deep. See,
so it's that deep.
It's a good simulator then. I like that. Now, to talk about like a game I've been playing lately, it's a game
what about you?
I posted on the group, but it's a Dragon Quest XI. Have you heard of Dragon Quest?
Yeah. Yes, I do, man. I love the Dragon Quest for the Game Boy.
Dude, Dragon Quest XI is so dope, bro. It's like watching your favorite anime all over again. Like, I'm like, but you know, you're playing it. They even have like a little tournament arc, all this stuff. It just, it's just so great. It brings me back to an older time of gaming. You know, when you know, you didn't have any microtransactions or anything. You just had to get everything yourself and figure out where to go, do things. And I'm like, I love this. This is great. Like, I would recommend Dragon Quest XI off top to anybody who's a JRPG fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And see, and that's the cool thing. Like, you know, we was talking about the last podcast I was on, you know, and about what Kings of Reckoning. Have you seen the Kingdom Amalur? You know, have
Yeah.
you seen the graphics and the play of that or
And the,
anything?
and the remake, I've seen the graphics as far as the, you know, the cinematics, but I have not seen gameplay. But
Um, it's going to be that game.
is it? Because I enjoyed the game like back in the day when it came out, and I was just kind of mad that the studios, you know, basically went under, so we were never going to get another one.
Yeah, I mean, well, again, you know, a lot of us now gamers too are older, so you know we're demanding some older titles back, you know, with up to date, you know, graphics and everything else like that, with a better, deeper story. Because again, you know, that's what a video game is, and I think that's why, to a point, we game because we're basically living in a book most of the time with these new games.
Yeah, I 100% agree that games nowadays have taken on a new aspect of both movie and interactive tool like a book. So it's like, you know, reading with your eyes, if you want to tell them, like, you know, reading with, you know, like your hands. You're like playing it.
Yeah.
You're making the story unfold with your own will. And plus, like, I honestly, I like them more than movies nowadays. Even though sometimes I get mad when a game is too much movie and not enough game. And speaking of that, which is a good segue, let us talk about The Last of Us 2.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yep.
this was Last of Us 2 came out like what, like maybe like 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, couple
It
weeks.
was about that. It hasn't been out. I think it's been about 3 weeks to a month.
And it has been like, I swear to God, you cannot put anything on the internet about how you feel about it without getting a torrent of just crap from one side or the other.
Have you seen some of the memes? Just, you know, I'm sorry, but yeah, they're getting funny.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the memes have always kind of been fire in these times. I mean, I think we got a lot better meme creators at home now since everybody's at home. But when it comes to The Last of Us 2, like, I haven't played it. I cannot give, like, an opinion on the game itself. But I was up at 6 in the morning because I work early. And I was looking at the Metacritic. So the game has been out for 6 hours, and there was like 1,000 zeros. And I'm like, this is my personal opinion. It's going to be a quick rant. I'm not going to be long. But 0 is not a score. 0 is a protest. 0 is I hate this game and I want to do bad. 0 is not the opinion of somebody who's actually played something and then went through it, digested it, and was able to, you know, put it back on the paper. Like, that's a review. Saying that something gets a 0 because you don't like one part in the story, that is not a review.
All right, so I'll put that in context though too.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, related to things. I mean, like Anthem, EA's, you know, supposedly was going to bring EA over to the other side. Anthem, you know, that's the same way. Not a lot of people liked the whole thing, but then you had that group that was just like, you know, I see the potential. You know, there is something in this game.
Exactly.
You know.
Like,
and again, that's why they're going back and completely rehauling the whole game, because there is something there, but it doesn't hit with a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true. And that's another thing about it, is the fact there is legitimate criticisms about the game, you know, because as of what I've seen, because I've seen some of it as far as somebody playing it, there are some parts of the story where I'm like, I don't know about that. Like,
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I don't know. I think a lot of people don't want to be fair because, a lot of the reviewers were giving it, what, 10s out of 10? One reviewer said it was like Schindler's List. And I'm like, come on, dude.
Yeah, it was like a highly anticipated rated game when it came out. It was just like,
yeah, just because it was very divisive, and then there's a lot of people who love it too. And I feel like it's one of those games that, quite honestly, you should just throw out every review you see. Just throw it in the trash. Play for yourself.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Because sometimes, like, I think reviews, and this is on Metacritic itself, because Metacritic is just like Rotten Tomatoes. It's just a collection of people's opinions. And the thing about it is, like, I think that people, like, are so, like, attached to a character or a certain aspect of the game that if anything changes in it, they get just very virulent against it. And then there's that other aspect of people that just love it wholeheartedly because they're not really analyzing it. And so it gets 10s out of 10s, and on the other side it gets like 3.4s or 0s. And it's just not, neither of them are honest scores.
And again, like you said, people's opinion, but the people that they're usually using for their opinion is most likely probably their group of opinionators, They might not branch out to different people who are, who like different genres of gameplay and that are more into the potential of what a game could be. Because again, there's a lot of games out there that just have great potential, but not a lot of people kind of jumped on it because again, it's not your big names, your Call of Duty and Final Fantasy,
your yearly releases, things that are just like huge out there. And like, I mean, The Last of Us 2 is huge, but like the thing is, when 2 came out, like it's the same thing with Resident Evil 3. They kind of like people just kind of crap on it. And the thing, and I think the thing that irks me about it is that neither of them are bad games. Like, I can just tell you right off the top, neither of them are bad. They don't really deserve. Yeah, they don't really.
It just all comes to preference too, bro. I mean, you like different games from what I like, and it's vice versa.
True, but there's a difference between opinion and something like, is it quality or not? Was it made with quality or was it not made with quality?
Like, did they put some love into this game?
Yeah, exactly. Like, did they actually try to make a game? Now, it can still be bad. That doesn't mean it can't be bad. It's just like. It's like, like take Nintendo for example. Like, whether you like your games or not, they're all made with polish and like love. They're all made with polish and love, and you can tell in the game that they've done that. And then there's some things that you can tell that are just kind of a lifeless product.
Well, see, and that's what I think too with this new breaking news. With Cyberpunk being delayed again.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, all right, that's a good move because you want something to last an impression and you want to put all your love and thought and every kind of thing you can do to make it a masterpiece. I don't care, delay it another year as long as you bring me something like the freaking Michael Jackson Thriller album and everything.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Please.
I 100% agree. Yeah, because like one. I trust CD Projekt Red as far as game quality because, listen, CD Projekt Red has made one game their entire career. That was The Witcher. Now, they made The Witcher Thronebreaker and Gwent after that, but it's still all the Witcher universe. It's the only thing they've ever made. And it's always been dope because they really focus on what the picture they're trying to bring across. And every time I've seen Cyberpunk, I have enjoyed that picture. Like what they're trying to get across, they've really sold the world to me. So if they need to take another year, yeah, go ahead, dude. Like I'd rather do that. Again,
and like they're trying to do is they, how it's really almost like fully playable. Like they're saying you can play it as GTA, Grand Theft Auto, but then again, you're gonna kind of throw off how the game should have been played, but you can play it that way, but it's going to screw you in the long run because you might need this person's help, but they're not going to help you because you did something already in the past.
Exactly. It's like a more involved Skyrim.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, every action has a consequence, and I want that to be played out beautifully. I don't want it to, or should I say this? I'd rather have them take time so it actually feels like a natural reaction
hmm
instead of you can already anticipate what's going to happen.
Exactly. Like the story's kind of so what's it called? Like cliche that you can kind of follow it to a T. And I like that. I like that. That's what I like about The Witcher because you didn't really know how The Witcher was gonna go. But with The Witcher though, they did have a lot of false choice because it's like, oh, you could have chose this. No, the same thing happens when you choose that. Like, like they had a lot of that. With Cyberpunk, it looks like they got a lot of like, nah, when you make this choice, it's gonna change everything. And
Exactly.
and that's something that's very intriguing to me because I don't think many games have ever truly captured that. Like, there's not many games, but Mass Effect, that was one of them. Mass Effect captured that almost perfectly because your decisions.
Every remake after that sucked because they could not. They kind of started going away from that almost free thought process of the NPC.
Yeah, like actual real consequences for things you did like earlier, and they would have that in the later games. Like 2, I think, was kind of the pinnacle with Mass Effect because 3, like things you did in 2 would matter, but the thing is, 3 ended like with only like 4 or 5 endings. It's like, how you gonna tell me I get this much choice with only 4 or 5 endings, bruh?
Yeah.
And they weren't very good either. But besides Mass Effect, Cyberpunk, I think it's gonna really bring that home. I think CD Projekt Red is gonna, and plus it's gonna be like a super adult game too. Like not an adult in the way where there's just tits and cussing and violence, because that's not technically adult. That's just adult content, not mature
Yeah,
content.
but that's Red is trying to bring in. I mean, like
Yeah.
Ready Player One. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They're trying to immerse you, so that's you, and you can make that decision.
Yeah.
What you do, but and then, like in real life, that decision has a consequence. But and I mean, I wonder if it's you do a consequent, you do something bad to antagonize somebody, but later on down the road, you kind of do a couple good things. How will
Mm-hmm.
they react
Like, will
to
they?
that situation?
Can you win their confidence back? You mean like
Hmm.
Now that's deep right there. I don't think any game's ever done that to where you just you totally piss somebody off, but you can eventually win their confidence back. I think they have stuff like that, in JRPGs, but it's not like the same. It's usually like a mini game kind of thing like that, not something that's like ingrained into the actual world.
Yeah.
So like that's something I think Cyberpunk is gonna knock out of the park for real. Like,
Well, take y'all time, man. Give us a good game. That way we ain't gotta get a brand new game every year. I don't want to have to get on every 2 days and have a damn 50 GB update.
well,
You know, I'm glad that they're trying to give game players a game.
yeah, a game, nothing that I have to buy something extra for, or that I have to worry about the multiplayer. It's gonna, like be a big part of the single player. I think it's gonna knock it out of the park. And speaking of
So
that, new games, I wanted just to ask you, you had something on the Ghost of Tsushima because that's something that just came out yesterday, I believe.
yeah, and I've heard a lot of positive reviews. I mean, I honestly don't know too much about it, but
Mm-hmm.
I will say I've seen a lot of it on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll tell you, it looks beautiful. I'm gonna really have to look into it a lot more because it looks
It does.
gorgeous, and everybody says it's gorgeous.
It looks stunning. I had to because I've been watching it on Twitch and YouTube, and I'm like, this looks stunning. And I have to say, the voice acting is superb. Have you ever seen Marco
Yes,
Polo?
yes.
The guy who plays the Khan in that is the guy who plays the Khan in this.
Oh, no, I didn't. Again, I'm gonna have to really look onto it because it does. And I've
Yeah.
seen, all right, so like in games too, and how this game really kind of shows beautiful potential.
Mm-hmm.
is usually in games when you're looking like you're in close quarters and
Mm-hmm.
everything. Kind of as the further your sight gets on the video game, how things kind of do start to get grainy.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, if
But that doesn't seem to. It still seems to be smooth throughout the distance of view.
yeah, yeah. Well, they've done a pristine job of like molding it and making it something that looks almost perfect. Probably not as good as when they first showed it at the PlayStation conference when they first showed it, but still immaculate. I mean, because it looks like a movie. Now, I hear that the stealth is not like great. Like it's just not like the enemies aren't very like good when it comes to stealth because the AI is a little wonky. Other than that, I hear that being a samurai and walking around and fighting people straight up is completely dope. And you should play. And the story was dope. Like I think the one thing that I like most about it is they let you do this the black and white mode, the Kurosawa mode, where you can just do like an old Japanese samurai flick, and that looks dope. I like that's a good ad, even though it's just cosmetic.
Well, I don't know if you're a samurai, then why would you really need stealth? Because samurais was them people who they fought you head on because that was their honor.
Yeah, I think you get.
And if they was going to die, they wanted to die facing you.
Yeah, and I think that's the choice you get. You get to do stealth, or you get to just straight up, come up and fight people. And the thing is, I think the fighting, at least of what I've heard, I haven't played myself, but what I've heard is the fighting itself is very solid, like the straight up samurai gameplay. But the ghost gameplay, when you're a ninja and you're doing the stealth, it's just not as solid as the straight up fighting mechanics, which is a little bit of a shame, but it doesn't seem to wear to anybody's like of the game. They seem to like it all the same, and it's getting good reviews on the review side and the user side. So that's pretty good indication that it's probably a solid game, honestly.
Well, I mean, they kind of needed something. I mean, they've been working on one game, Infamous, for since
Infamous.
2009. Yeah, Infamous since 2009, and just kind of
Yeah.
throwing different DLCs out for that. And that was their last thing since 2014. So this coming out in 2020 with Sucker Punch. Who was it? Sucker Punch.
Sucker
Was the
Punch.
game developer Productions.
Hold on.
So
Hold on a minute. So, get a little bit of an echo. Let me just see if I can turn my stuff down a little. Hello?
yes, sir.
I don't know. I can't hear it. You're saying you can hear me, but John just put in and said we're getting a little bit of an echo. So hopefully I'm turning it down, and hopefully that's gonna solve it a little. Can you still hear me fine?
I hear you perfectly.
All right. Well, I can't hear it, so we're gonna have to just see if anybody in chat or shows up that let me know if it sounded a little bit weird. We'll try to fix it. But as far as I know, I'm just gonna keep on going with the settings I have. Turn it down a little. Hopefully, it doesn't echo too much. But what you were saying is Sucker Punch. Yeah, they haven't really made anything since Infamous Second Son. And I'm gonna be real with you. Did not enjoy Infamous Second Son as uh, as much as I would like to. Hmm.
And that's the thing too about I'm gonna full circle it back to Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a title can make you or break you. If you don't have the money to be able to rebound from putting out a crappy ass game, you're done
Mm-hmm.
for.
That is true, especially in this industry. It takes a lot to make a game these days. Now, there is other methods, like let's say you get a not a GoFundMe, but you do the Kickstarter thing where you have early access to where you're kind of building the game as people are playing it, so you can actually get on, real time feedback and fix your game as you play. Some people have had real good success with that, and I think that's another good avenue for it. But yeah, in this kind of industry, you can't make a big game and have it flop. Like
Yes.
that's just you're gonna. They're just gonna tank
Yeah,
on
so
that.
for that game that they released yesterday, I think it's going to be a good step forward because
Yeah,
again, a lot of people seem to receive it really, really well.
yeah,
Um,
and
it's starting to get me to buy, starting to lean to me to start, buy a PlayStation also.
yeah, and I
You
mean,
know,
even The Last of Us, it sold incredibly. Like it sold like sales, it knocked it out the park. It was the critical review that really got that, but Ghost of Tsushima seemed to be pretty consistent with the critical and financial success. So I think that's, I mean, PlayStation exclusive. They're known for their exclusives. That's why when one does bad, everyone gets up in uproar because
yeah,
they're known for dropping those stories that you really love to hear. And like God,
true.
when the next God of War comes out, bro, I'm just already on the train. Like, just take my money, bro. Just give it to me.
Well, I mean, they probably had the money too, being published by Sony and everything.
Yeah,
So
Santa Monica's
they
good
had
too.
that backing.
Santa Monica's really good too. Except for that one game they made in early in Sony's life cycle with the Order 1886. That game was trash. I hated it. I hated it. It was probably the worst exclusive they've ever made. But other than that, I think most of their stuff they usually knock it out of the park.
Yeah,
Speaking of knocking it out of the park, that Xbox exclusive show.
exclusive show. Yeah,
Exclusive show.
now
Especially, go ahead.
I'm sorry, but yeah, I think they got an official title for that now, and they're calling it the Xbox Series X show.
Xbox Series X show. I'm actually looking forward to this. I want to see what Xbox is gonna bring.
I think to a point it's going to possibly be a lot based around what current games probably are out now
Hmm.
and what Halo, obviously Halo Infinity, that's going to be that's going to be Xbox's big game
Yeah.
for their new console. Hands down, because hopefully, we haven't had a real good, decent Halo game since what, Halo 3?
Yeah. I mean, ever since Bungie left, it's just not been hitting the same.
Yeah, and even though they do keep five alive,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's it's not the same feel. It's than Halo, Halo 2, and Halo 3.
Yeah.
So, and
Uh,
hopefully they get a good story with this. Master Chief's returning, right?
I believe so. I believe that's what the trailer was saying.
And
Yeah. I think Xbox, honestly, and this is just my opinion, I think what Xbox needs to do in this next conference is one, not only do they need like Halo Infinite, they should be bringing back some older games that people are hyped for. Like if they did Jade Empire 2, if they did Knights of the Old Republic, if they,
well,
if they
they're doing Hellblade 2.
Hellblade 2, that's fine, but I don't think that's gonna bring someone in like if they just had Perfect Dark or something like that. Like it's one of those old school games that they're known for, and if they brought that back, I think that would just be such big hype for them because that you look at these remakes like Final Fantasy VII remake and Dark Souls remake and Kingdom of Amalur remake. People are hyped for those remakes because those are games they loved. And Xbox had games that people loved back in the day, and it kind of just hadn't made them anymore. And I think, don't they still own
Yeah,
them?
I'm not for sure.
Yeah. Well, I know that was BioWare with Jade Empire and Knights of the Old
Yeah,
Republic. But if they were to make those again and remake them with better graphics, oh, bruh, people would go ape shit over that.
I know what they're saying here too. What to expect at the show is they are really going to kind of put a lot of effort into Halo Infinity, and they're
Mm-hmm.
going to include some actual gameplay,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to they expecting to break down how Hell 2 is, and just more insight on a new Fable. Supposedly, a new Fable game is on the way.
Mm-hmm. Now, is that the only three they're gonna do?
Well, and then most of it's just going to be too. Looks like they're saying a lot of it might be about how they're going to the faster frame rate, the ray
Mm-hmm.
tracings, with
Uh,
and how they're going to be HDR upscaling every backwards capability games. That so hopefully an Xbox game will look like a an Xbox 360 or I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to go too far as a Xbox One game, but
Mm-hmm.
upscaling it to an Xbox 360 game, that would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool, but I don't think that's a winning conference. Like,
No, and then but then they're going to release. There's been a lot of things too that I think there's a hidden agenda. So recently, Xbox Two has removed their 1 year subscription for Xbox Live,
that's all they have.
and yeah, and they're talking about possibly getting rid of Xbox Live. I believe they might be going full blown switching over to kind of how like PlayStation Plus is kind of built. Yeah, you still pay a little bit, but it's a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
but you're getting a bunch of free games, which is basically the Game Pass.
So basically, they're gonna replace it with the Game Pass.
Yes,
Uh,
that's what I'm gonna believe.
Honestly, I mean that's not a bad idea because the Game Pass is pretty sweet deal. Can't lie about that. Like
No,
because
and
like the Xbox Game Pass gives you a lot of access to pretty cool games for basically free and like one price a month.
well, and see too, and seeing why I believe that's what's another corporation and that's incorporated too with this Xbox release is what they have been testing out, and you could apply for it, which I was able to get access. And it's called Project X Cloud,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a obviously it's Xbox's gaming streaming service, and a lot of the games that are on the Game Pass
Mm-hmm.
are on that are in that playlist, so you can stream games on your cell phone or console games to your cell phone or to your laptop, through Project X Cloud.
Mm. That's pretty
So you
dope.
won't even need to install really anything. It will be a streaming game service.
That's pretty dope. But like, I still don't think that's gonna be a winning conference for them because like it comes down to the point where it's like if you have a lot of capabilities to do things, that's fine. But you need to like give people something to be excited about. And like three games, one of them being an oldie, and well, two of them
Yeah.
because because Fable is a good one. Fable's good. Halo's good. The what's it called? Senua's Sacrifice. You know the what's it called again? Hellblade
Hellblade.
2. That's also good, but like that's really not gonna be enough. Like that's
It's
that.
nothing new.
Yeah, it's nothing new. It's nothing exciting. It's nothing to really get hype over besides Halo Infinite. And I think that your boy I forget his name, the guy, the CEO of Xbox. I forget his name. Like I hear it all the time, and I've just forgotten it all of a sudden. But like he's really gonna like they got to come with some pizzazz, some zing. Because the thing is, the PlayStation um, conference wasn't like particularly exciting. It was just as good as everybody thought it was gonna be, and that's that's all they kind of need to do at this point because they've had such a lead from this generation, and I think Xbox needs to just they need to go ahead and understand that you got to pick it up on the game front because that is the crux of their problem is the game front. Like that's just one thing they can't get away from is that they don't have enough of their own titles that are exciting and get people out there to buy them.
Well, they already got their butt hurt a long time ago when
Hmm.
Blu-ray run over, HDR
Yeah,
DVDs,
and they didn't want to
so
change. They like HD DVD kind of died, and then Blu-ray took over, and then Xbox didn't want to change. But then in their next console, and Xbox 360, I'm gonna be real with you, I think Xbox 360 was great, but they kind of lost all those titles, and that's kind of been digging the grave ever since. I mean, not really digging the grave. Xbox still makes money, especially in the United States and in Europe and Australia. But it's just those other markets of Asia and Japan and China that PlayStation just kills it. They love it so
yeah.
much, and Xbox just really does no business over there. But if they had like a dope RPG, like if they came out with a dope RPG, people would be on that. Now I know Fable's one of them, but they kind of need like more to get a couple. Get a couple of those RPGs, get a couple of story-based hack and slashers, get a couple of indie puzzle games, something like that. You know, have that variety, because then you would
Yep.
get those markets in Asia, because that's what they love. Like
Yeah, they do.
they do, they love those
And
games.
again, they got, and you're right. And I will say that too, Xbox does kind of pertain to a lot of Americanized, almost, should I say,
Western.
yes, Western game,
Yeah.
Western feels and everything.
Hmm.
The only time you get a game unlike, not like that is a game from somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's a Japanese, a Japanese game or something like that that's just been Americanized.
True. And
But that's how Xbox kind of works a lot, and I've noticed too is, you know, Sony branches, like you're saying. Sony's got the branch to a bunch of countries because they obtain to each country too.
yeah, like they, every country has PlayStation, every country has Xbox. It's just, like it's just those certain companies of China, Japan, and Korea. They really love PlayStation and not really Xbox. Well, Xbox is fine in America, Australia, Europe, things like that. They just fine there because they still buy it because they have a lot of Western titles. And a lot of, Western countries like those. But, they just, that giant market, China and stuff like that, is something they don't get to, that PlayStation gets to as well as Europe. And I think if Xbox really just came with exclusive, like Knights of the Old Republic, that would murder. Like that would just destroy. Like that would make me think about getting an Xbox. Like, and you know me, I don't really care for
Yeah.
Xbox, but like, but if they had Knights of the Old Republic, Jade Empire, stuff like that, I'd have to think about it.
Yeah, they need to kind of, like you said, I agree with you. They do need to kind of step up on some exclusive titles. I mean, that's why, Nintendo's
Yeah,
up in the ranks, back up in the ranks with them because Mario and everything else
yeah.
like that.
But Animal
That
Crossing
it's an
just
icon.
exactly. Animal Crossing just came out. I
Pokemon,
don't even know why
you
people
know.
love it, but they do. Like I don't even know why, but they do. And that's the one market that I think they need to get. They need to like kind of step down from the ultra gory, super mature themes and kind of throw some stuff in there that's fun,
Yeah, that's what
childish or anime.
that's why I was like earlier. I was talking about Grounded. That looks just kind of like a fun family game. Like you could actually sit down because I think you play with 4 people. Like you could sit down and play with your kids with this game.
Hmm. Yeah,
You know,
that's beautiful.
something like you said, something fun. Man, this is why we're in here. You always show games war, games of war, games of fighting and everything. Give us something fun that's going to uplift us, make us all laugh, and
Yeah, something that's like
enjoy a little bit.
that's why I always talk about Overcooked 2 or stuff like that when I play with Q because it's just fun. And it's immediate. I don't have to sit through a story. I don't have to look at you, try to explain to me the depth of violent cycles and stuff like that. Just let me cook. Let me
Well,
cook a burrito and then throw it across the shark.
well, like you were saying too about anime games, they just did on July 15th because my daughter, she's a big anime person.
Yeah.
Um, so Sword Art Online,
Mhm.
the original game, was released for Xbox and PlayStation 4 and everything, and it follows. And see, this is why I'm probably not even going to play it because I already done watched it, the
Mhm.
whole series. But it follows the whole series to the T.
Oh, really?
It's like, all right, well,
So is it also bad? No,
I, it looks good, but I've played
That's
Fatal
fine.
Bullet, and to me, the gameplay is a little choppy.
A little choppy. What is it
Yeah,
like? Like what type of game is it like?
it's, uh, it's like a, what would you call it? RP MMOG or something like that.
Like a MMORPG?
Yeah.
Is it like God Eater where you're just like basically doing Monster Hunter?
Basically, yeah. And
Um,
that's basically what it is. And it's all it's if it was not as repetitive, then all right.
mhm.
But then again, you come out with a game that's all right. The stories already came out, and a lot of people who would buy the game already watched the story, they might not. It might be fun for the first couple hours,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not going to keep them intrigued because they're gonna be like, all right, I know what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen. He
Yeah,
does
yeah. It's
this.
kind of
She
like
does
playing.
that.
It's like playing a Dragon Ball Z game for the 40th time. It's like, bro, I know the story.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly,
and,
exactly. No
like,
freshness.
yeah, and honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. Yeah, it's maybe a hot take. People may not like this. Like 90% of anime games are just trash. Like they're just
Yeah.
garbage. Like I'd love One Piece Pirate Warrior, but it is a bad game.
Yeah, and a
Like,
lot of them too are just fighting games now,
yeah.
just to bring you anime character. But I would not mind, and I would probably be on that bandwagon if you would came out with a good kind of like new anime story and did a game. I mean, Netflix is doing it all the time now. You know,
Hmm.
it seems like Netflix now is in the anime business.
Yeah, they've brought a lot of new anime to the forefront of the Western the Western marketplace because I know a lot of people get into anime because of Netflix, and not like me who got into anime because of internet piracy. I didn't say it.
Nah, anime, Toonami and
Hmm.
everything else like that
Yeah,
back in the day.
yeah, that was because Dragon Ball Z was the OG. Dragon Ball Z is
And
probably
Inuyasha and everything. Yeah,
yeah,
Bleach.
and Bleach, One Piece came on back in the day, um, but not on Toonami. I think that was like on Fox or something like Saturday morning cartoons and stuff. But yeah, that brought a lot to the forefront, and I think like anime games, even though they're not very good, they still bring in like a good amount of money because they have a fan following. So I think
Yep.
I think Xbox would be, I think they could pick up some more anime games. They should just pick up a variety of games. Like just something that's out of the wheelhouse that you're normally in, and you might get some more fans, some extra people on the outside. As long as it's good, as long as you make the game good, you'll probably get a lot more than you're bargaining for with it.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't mind a good, you know, horror story game or anything like that. I wouldn't mind like a real good title for Xbox to do,
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft to be able to look into. But again, something new. I don't want like, another Jason or Freddy Krueger game. I want y'all to
Right.
create somebody new and make a story about it
Yeah,
and
make a
how we have to live or how we have to be that person to be able to become,
yeah. It's like
you know,
a really good survival horror. Because I hear
yeah.
Hideo Kojima might be getting Silent Hill again. Like I think it was his at first, but now they might be giving some. Or was that, or Konami was giving it to Capcom? Was it like Silent Hill? One of those things
Yeah,
where
I think Capcom's taking it because
yeah.
Capcom's kind of always been that pinnacle of always using them off the wall characters, like Street
Hmm.
Fighter and everything, they always had them different characters. And I think they
Hmm.
was kind of the first ones to bring out like different
Yeah, like
looking
more
people and characters and things.
exactly. I think like I would say that Capcom has been the ambassador of Japanese culture to America. Like
Yes.
because they've all those Japanese concepts, Capcom puts them in their games, and people tend to love them. Mega Man, like they tend to love Mega Man, Street Fighter, Resident Evil. They have games that they haven't even gone back to that I'm kind of mad they haven't gone back to. Like Power Stone. I take another Power Stone right now. I would just throw my money at you and tell you to make that Power Stone. Like Darkstalkers, Onimusha. Like there's just so many games they haven't done, and they're kind of stuck on Resident Evil right now. But I think Capcom will be taking what's it called, Silent Hill, and that's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be a good survival horror, and I'm not big on the genre. I don't really like survival horror too much. Too slow. But a lot of people love it.
Yeah, see, that's my thing. I'm not either, but if it was a fast pace kind of like, all right, you know, this game's not meant for you to survive 30 minutes. It's like it's either you escape or you got.
Ah,
Like
you should try Dead by Daylight.
I've played that and I've played Daisy.
Mm.
Man, that game's hard. I mean, I do like the State of Decay game now.
State of Decay, is it better now?
Yes, they got the new remastered what Judgment Day or the Juggernaut. I forgot. It's been a second since I played. Like I said, I've been playing that hunting game and everything. Just
Hmm.
relax in and
I always thought State of Decay was an interesting idea, but it just kind of came out a little jank. You
yeah,
know.
but no, now it's pretty fun and I, I mean, it is. If you can play online with somebody, and really, if you want to, you could. If you're online with somebody playing just one other person, you can run through that game in like 5 hours and still have fun.
Yeah. I mean, I
You
guess
know,
that'd be the goal.
and then just redo. And you just redo the map, and then I mean, but then again, you can still play the game. The game does not end. After you eliminate everything, it continues to still go. So that's a cool thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of nice in-game content because I think a lot of people forget the game plus or the in-game content after the game. That's something that's become a little bit more scarce nowadays, except for your companies that remember that stuff, like Square and Capcom, stuff like that. They understand that's needed. But I think we're getting a little bit close to time now. Did you still want to talk about the other thing with the army?
Oh, that's up to you. We can do that.
We're kind of getting a little close. We might need to do the eyebrow. I mean, it's not really a lot. It's just the U.S. Army has a Twitch channel and a Discord, and they have been, playing esports on it for a while. Like, things like Overwatch and what's it called, Fortnite, Apex, things like that. And there's two stories with it. The story I remember is the fact that they had that people found out that they had a Twitch chat and they started bombing it with war crimes that America's done. And so the U.S. Army started banning people left and right, like just banning them at the chat. But things come to find out they can't do that. They actually,
No.
because it's a public forum, and because they're the U.S. military, they're a government, organization, they cannot ban anybody from a public forum based on their opinions. So now they have to let people do that. So instead of just weathering through it, they just stop streaming.
Well, yeah, they was also like just to get people to follow them, to recruit them, to try to recruit them and everything. They was
Mhm.
giving them fake giveaways.
Yeah,
They wasn't really giving anything away.
they would say click on this for giveaway, and then you click on it, and it goes to a recruitment site. Like,
Yeah, basically entrapping you, man. I
yeah.
mean, that's like entrapment.
Like, yeah, it's basically that. Now, it's the thing is they can't recruit you from there. John's still saying the echo's still there. Jesus, man, this was
Yeah, we only got 10 minutes left. We're
I
sorry.
mean, it's really nothing I can do now. There's 10 minutes left. I don't know where it would be coming from, but it is happening. So we're gonna try to get that for next time. But like, what was I just saying with the U.S. Army?
Them recruiting.
Yeah, they can't actually recruit you from it. It's basically so a recruiter will contact you. But at the same time, that's pretty jank. That's pretty messed up.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're not gonna, you get some kid just trying to click on something to get something, and next thing you know, he's getting calls from the U.S. Army so he can throw his meat in front of a bullet. So
Yeah, he don't even know what he's talking about, and they're recruiting him at like 12 years old.
yeah, that's ridiculous. It's just, I kind of feel like they really deserve the war crime spam. That's like the least of the things that could have happened. And I mean, let's be real. People egging you on in chat is the internet. Like that is the internet. If you've ever seen the comment section of anything, you understand that's what the internet's about.
Yeah,
Mm.
it is. It's funny because you're right. You're right. Video games are that.
Yeah, especially voice chat. on any kind of online game. Yeah.
I mean, how many times has somebody 40-year-old probably cussed out a 12-year-old?
And how many times vice versa? Either way.
I know. These kids is getting, man, yeah, these kids is getting bad, dude. Cuss you out so bad, you about to try to figure out where they live at.
Like, would you say to me at all?
Your mom, you're over here crying. Your mom, bro, your mom.
I'm like, all right, bro, that's why I'm going to find who you are, and then I'm going to date your mother, and then I'm going to put you out of her will, bro. Like,
that's a all right, bro, right there.
Speaking of that, speaking of that, we might want to just go ahead and move on into our all right, bro, since we're getting a little bit close to the time. Now, did you want to go first, or I can go first?
Nah, you can go on, man.
All
Spill
right,
the beans.
let me go pull this one up. Now, for my all right, bro, I got a Phil Watson, a 31-year-old of Newcastle, has been playing Minecraft on hardcore mode, meaning that, you know, if you die, start all the way again. He had been running this game for 5 years. 5 years.
Damn.
Like, and it was probably it's the longest recorded in history of anybody who has ever run a game. And let me see. Yep, and then he was knocked by a skeleton on an accident and lost the game and had to start all over after 5 years.
Man, that would fucking suck. Bro.
That would cry,
bro. Like, dude's about to go back on a damn Red Bull binge.
Like, bro, he had like 3,500 followers of people just looking at him continually playing this streak, and he just lost it on a whim, and it was all gone.
He had Red Bull in his IV tube, didn't he?
Bruh, I mean, he looks like a normal guy, you know. He's got a wife and everything like that. Apparently, he had a life, but he's just been running the same game for 5 years. That's impressive. Like,
is.
Like, that's impressive because, you know, a hardcore mode of anything, you die, you start all over, and you just haven't died for 5 years. That's some gaming achievement right there. I can respect that.
Like, I could fully respect that because I think sometimes too, here and there, I don't think I could consistently play the same game and put. I mean, how many hours a day did he put into this 5-year venture?
I don't like. It doesn't say specifically how many a day, but he was like. I mean, let's say he had to be. Oh wait, 20 hours a week.
All right, so basically a part-time job, almost.
Pretty much, but honestly, 20 hours a week. So let's see. If we're doing the full week, 7-day week, he had to be doing like, well, a little less than 3 a day. So that's not that much. I mean, having the time to do that as a working adult, that is kind of a lot. But he had to be playing at least 3 hours a day.
And having a family and kids.
Yeah, that actually is a lot. So I don't know if that was a strain or not, but apparently it's no longer a strain anymore.
All right, bro. That dude's. I guess it. All right, bro. I give him that. He got a wife that lets him game.
Maybe she.
All right, bro. I see you. That's what I would say to him.
You got one for us, man?
Yeah, well, mine is just kind of recently. It's just kind of recently happened, but obviously it has to do with, you know, now this whole Corona thing and how people react if you kind of get too close to them. And then now still people are playing Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
So the funny playing Pokemon Go, you know, the same app game on your phone and, you know, going around and walking around. There was an incident it was about a week ago, happened at Walmart. And these younger adults was playing Pokemon Go, just walking around, not paying attention, bumped into a couple, and next thing you know, the woman just starts blaming everything about Corona, and there's a fight that broke out.
Over.
and over Pokemon because they was playing Pokemon Go,
Oh, bruh. So they started fighting over
and
Pokemon Go.
they started fighting over Pokemon Go, and it was just because they got too close to each other.
Oh, bruh. Like I would have been like, hey, bruh, you better be finding like a gold Charizard on there, or I'm gonna punch you in the mouth for being this close
And I'm
to
like,
me,
all right, bro,
bro. I don't even
y'all
know.
need to like chill.
I think everybody kind of needs to chill, bro, because like playing Pokemon Go is fine. If you got on a mask and you're walking around outside, you're good. But like, you probably want to watch where you are to people because you don't want to be close to anybody. And like, honestly, that Pokemon's not worth it because it's not real. Now, if it was a
But
real
dude,
Pokemon, it,
there's a diehard, there's diehard people out there,
yeah,
you
that's
know, diehard. Like I'm actually part of a group on Facebook because again, it's just for me to kind of keep in tune with everything going on with things. A group here at Louisville, and I mean, they're like 5,000 deep, and they're all in Louisville, and consistently every day are playing and all tagging up and going to these gyms and events and everything
really
and meeting up to like take yes, and
like real
that's
Pokemon.
happening here. Like real, no, just Pokemon Go, just the app.
Wow, so it's almost like the Pokemon the anime. Like everybody's going around doing gym matches and shit like that.
Yeah,
That's
they'll
honestly
all
awesome.
and they'll
Like,
like, and then when they have like big raid events and everything,
mm-hmm.
they like you can have like I think like 10 trainers all battle the big, legendary that you can get at the end of the battle.
Oh, so they all banded like a legendary Pokemon. Like, I'm gonna be real with
Yeah,
you. If it wasn't
so
for
there's
the
actually a
coronavirus
community.
thing, that would be incredibly honest, awesome. If it wasn't for the
There's a community
coronavirus.
here in Louisville that actually they do all of that stuff, and they'll meet up and like they'll all meet up at like St. Matthew's Mall and hit up different things and all like tag team gyms together.
Oh my God. Well, we should get some one of them on the show. We should get one of them on the show. Talk about Pokemon. That
That would be dope.
that
Like
would be dope.
how they live in that interaction for real.
Yeah, like how this goes down, like because they're making like gyms and they're almost making like a real life Pokemon world within the real world, and I think it would be very interesting just to hear about like the inner workings of
Yeah.
the Pokemon group. So that'd be cool. Let's see if you can talk to anybody on there. Let's come on the show. I'd love to do that.
And definitely reach out to somebody and everything. I think that would be a good episode for you all,
Oh yeah,
getting something together like that, especially, how that is part of the gaming community. And you can,
yeah,
honestly, if they're gaming with that, they game with other things.
yeah. Of course. I mean, like if you're gaming in real life or gaming on virtually or a mixture of both, which is Pokemon Go, I am 100% I am supportive of it. I
And
like gaming
that would
on.
be a cool event. That would be an awesome event too. Like a two death Pokemon thing. Like we have like an event inside of where like a gym's located or something like
Yeah,
that.
after Corona, of course, but like,
Exactly. I know y'all love to make that happen, man.
yeah, I love that. Honestly, I think that would be great. We can have everybody come dress up as their team. Dress up as their Pokemon team and have a Pokemon tournament. Like in the anime. Oh my God, I would love it. We get Nerd Nation on it. They
Dude, yeah,
probably
you
love
can,
to.
and y'all can sit there and fight each other and everything else like that. And
Yeah, we can see if we
dude,
can
and
get
that would
something.
bring in people.
See if we can get something up on the screen and have a screen and have an announcer. I mean, like, Charizard uses
That would
flavor.
be great. That'd be epic.
That would be epic. I love that. Now,
That would be epic.
unfortunately, we have met our time for today. Austin, I'd like to thank you for coming out, filling in for John.
Hey, no problem,
It's been
man.
good
I
talking.
was honored he called, and I am, man. I'm glad he actually called me and chose me to be able to fill his place.
But we wanted somebody. I told him, if you can find somebody you trust, I'm more than happy to get on with them. So I mean, Austin, you're fine. If they got Matt, that would have been fine. You two are pretty good, and you're always welcome on the show. So is there anything you'd
I
like to say
appreciate it.
before we sign off?
Man, I was just like to tell y'all who of you are listening to it, like, subscribe to Two Def, gaming, Louisville, Kentucky, 502 local gaming community. Trying to make it big. You got the J Poet and the Sleepwalker doing their thing, and like and follow, subscribe. That way you can get all your gaming talk. And see upcoming events they're going to be putting on. I mean, this is good community, good group of people, and it's just growing every day. So I just want to put that out for everybody to know. It's something that's going to be good, and it's going to be good for everybody. And
Well,
when
uh,
this Corona thing's going, I mean, you're just going to wait till you meet the people. You're going to love everybody.
well, thank you, Austin, and we like to thank you all for whoever was in chat and whoever wanted to, tune in with us. Just like Austin said, like, comment, subscribe. Come on down to the events when they start again after the coronavirus, and check out our page. We have tons of memes, and we have a good time. And we try to get, like, these game nights and stuff kind of set up virtually and stuff like that. I think we got stuff in the future, and we're gonna try to get this podcast a lot more consistent. Now, I've always said that before, but life jumps at you, especially when you have a family. You can't just really always do things when you want. But
Yeah, maybe here soon too. We can get, like we have here and there, small little, like he was talking about, gaming at events where we kind of all got on Discord, and group of us play kind of different games and everything.
yeah, just play a
And
game. I think that would be dope. We all need to get on a single system though.
yeah, 'cause I think last time we did that, a lot of us, we played Call of Duty Modern Warfare, but we played on like a small map, and it was great because it was like, I think it was every man for themselves, and it was like 16. We had 16 people in there, and it was just chaos, but it was so fun and funny.
Yeah,
We all got to get together and do something like that again.
yeah, we definitely do. Especially when the corona ends. But actually, yeah, we definitely do because I miss that kind of stuff. But saying that, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out, and you all have a nice night. To death.
Yeah, you can get to. Good night, man. Episode 7 out.
All right.